Good morning. Did it happen yet? No. Girl, but you know what did happen? The Republicans shut the government down. Now, I've been hearing the news talk about the Democrats shutdown, but honey, the last time I checked, the Republicans hold power in every fucking chamber. Republicans control the House. Republicans control the Senate. Republicans control the White House. Republicans shut the government down. You want to know why? Because they wanted to continue ripping healthcare away from millions of Americans so that they can give tax breaks to the ultra wealthy. Simple as that. The Democrats would not vote for their clean continuing resolution. Why? Because that funding bill pulls subsidies for healthcare for millions of Americans. And we keep hearing the Republicans talk about illegals or transgender for everyone, whatever the fuck that means. But the fact of the matter is, the Democrats didn't vote for their funding because it didn't include keeping healthcare subsidies for millions of Americans who depend on government aid for healthcare. And this has nothing to do with illegals or people who don't qualify, because in America, you need to have something called a Social Security number to access any of those benefits. Something undocumented immigrants don't have. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. So when somebody says to you that the government was shut down over transgender for everybody, I mean, honestly, that sounds like a good time. And healthcare for illegals, know that these people pay millions of dollars into this system in this country annually and cannot use any of the benefits they pay into. Facts matter. The Republicans are in control, and it's not the Democrats' fault. They don't know how to govern.
When Republicans tell their MAGA voters that Democrats are fighting for health care for illegal immigrants, I mean, does that make sense to them? What would be the upside? I'm one of the people the Democrats are fighting for their health care because I'm on the Affordable Care Act, because I own a small business and I have for 15 years. I'm actually working right now in my garage, packaging things up. It's not a glamorous job. And I get my health care that I can afford for my family off the Affordable Care Act. And the premium is about to go up 85%. Why would Democrats be fighting for health care for illegal immigrants? People who are here undocumented. Those people are afraid to go to work right now. They're not going to hospitals and doctors' offices, and it's already illegal for them to get health care through Medicaid. That's not something that exists. And they're rounding these people up and sending them out of the country. What would be the upside for Democrats to fight for that? I mean, I just want to know, how does that make sense to them? How do they just hear that and believe it? Democrats are fighting for health care for U.S. citizens like myself and many other families.
The simple reason why the US government is shutting down is just because leaders in Congress cannot agree about money for healthcare. Hey beautiful people, welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you for stopping by. So credit goes to the creators in these videos, guys. One group wants to keep programs that help people pay for health insurance, and the other group is saying that the government should be funded first without extra health rules. Because they cannot agree, the government has stopped many of its normal work. Guys, the heart of the fight is whether to extend subsidies over the ACA, the Affordable Care Act, that help low and middle income Americans afford insurance. Because the Democrats argue that letting those subsidies expire will cause premiums to skyrocket and kick millions off insurance plans. And they also want to reverse recent cuts to Medicaid. And the Republicans, on the other hand, insist that funding the government should happen first via a, in quotes, clean bill without added healthcare policy changes. And they are saying that healthcare decisions should be debated separately. And now, because none of them would bend, the funding for many programs are stuck and there is a shutdown. Guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments. But even during the shutdown, right, not all healthcare stops. Some major programs that are classified as mandatory or essential continue to operate. Medicare and Medicaid are expected to keep running, but many of the health agencies like the NIH, CDC, HHS are funded by all these discretionary budgets might face, not even might face, will face interruptions. And telehealth services are also threatened. Guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Let's see what these other creators have to say.
You want to know the real reason why the U.S. government's shutting down? It's because rich people will never understand the struggles of working people. 2 years ago, I thought I was having a heart attack, so I went next door to Johns Hopkins to the ER. Thankfully, it wasn't. But despite me having good insurance, I've been paying a bill every single month for that one visit. And I know that I'm not the only one that has a story like that. I know that I'm not the only one who has ever had to make the choice. Is the bill worth it to get help? But no other citizen in any other developed nation has ever had to face that choice. That's only in America. The United States is the wealthiest nation in human history. Yet you and I pay more for healthcare than anyone else on earth. Americans live shorter lives. We suffer from more preventable diseases. And in this country, our country, more babies won't see their first birthday than in any other wealthy nation in the world. Yet, healthcare CEOs make more than $20 million a year, not to keep people healthy, but to keep profits high. Rich people will never understand the struggles of working people. Without this shutdown, without something left to fight with, healthcare costs will rise, Medicaid will be cut, and tens of thousands of American lives will be lost simply because of greed. It's not going to be an easy fight, but it's a fight worth fighting. This shutdown is the people's last line of defense. And if we hold the line today, we save lives tomorrow. It might be your life. It might be my life. It might be the lives of our kids. But it's a line worth holding. And we'll do it together.
If you have Obamacare and you don't want it to be 75% more expensive, then you want Democrats to win this government shutdown fight. That's what's on the line. Simple as that. Republicans want to pass a resolution that will make subsidies for Obamacare disappear and in turn make it 75% more expensive for the average person. Democrats don't want that to happen. Which would you prefer?
Every leader who's telling you that the government shutdown that's happening is not about your health care is a liar. And I'm just going to try to break it down here for you simply. Insurance simply is a big pool of money that covers people who have extreme expenses at certain times. Okay? Very simple. So most of us don't need expenses at certain times. We pay the premiums. People who do have those situations, illnesses, other things that pop up, they get to withdraw from that system. Recently, this past summer, there was a bill passed. I'm sure you're very aware of what it was called. This bill was designed to reduce the amount of money in that pool to cover every American's insurance plan. Okay? So even if you're not on a public market insurance plan, that pool of money is smaller. What this means is your premiums and everything else are going up, guaranteed. Now's the perfect time to get ready to vote.
Vote how? Is it the midterms or what? Because at this point, telehealth services are also threatened. Some telehealth waivers expire at the shutdown, and many doctors may stop providing virtual services, virtual visits, especially hurting those with mobility issues. So, insurance premium costs will jump up dramatically if those ACA subsidies lapse, which will make insurance unaffordable for many. So the shutdown doesn't fully stop healthcare, but it places major parts of it in danger. And because this shutdown revolves around healthcare, its consequences eats real people's health. It eats deep into real people's lives, higher costs. Because when the subsidies go away, people will have to pay more for insurance and drop coverage altogether. People that depend on telehealth or home visits may lose access to care. Preventive services, public health services, research and oversight may stall and will harm long-term health. And families do not even know how they will be able to afford care next year because doctors and clinics may hesitate to take on risk. And the worst of these effects will fall on those that are already vulnerable, It will fall on low income earners, it will fall on those that are in the rural areas, and it will fall on the population that is chronically ill. Guys, this is just a fight for healthcare because that's just the way I see it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments and let's keep watching these videos.
Let's get a few things straight. If you're one of the people, well, the Republicans are saying that they're shutting the government down because Democrats want to give health care to a list. Stop. Stop. Sweetheart, Google is free. The Republicans shut the government down because they don't want to give existing subsidies to Americans to continue to afford health care. The Democrats never asked to provide health care to undocumented immigrants. Undocumented individuals have never been eligible for any government service at all. Google is free. And if you're coming in my comments or in my lives going, well, I heard that's what they're saying on the Republican side, so I just want to let you know. Sweetheart, again, Google is free. The subsidies that the Democrats want to keep in, that the Republicans stripped out of their continuing resolution, already exist, and they have existed. But the Republicans have been trying to gut the Affordable Care Act, aka Obamacare, because you still got your knickers in a twist about that one for some odd reason. They have been trying to gut this since it started, okay, for over a decade. And they see this as their shining chance to do it. So you know what? They're shutting the government down over it because the Democrats are like, hey, these already exist. Why can't we continue them? Let's talk about it now. The Republicans were going, well, we just need to keep the government open and we'll discuss that later. Like, we can trust any freaking Republican in this government. Well, can we trust anybody in this government? But definitely not the Republicans.
So our government is shut down. And why is it shut down? Let me tell you why it's shut down. Because we have a group of leaders that don't care about us. I can understand disagreements because I disagree every day with something. However, it should have never came to this. They had since March to get this figured out. And as we take a look at healthcare, which is the sticking point, let me be clear. There's no way in which illegal immigrants come here and they're able to sign up for healthcare. It's just simply not true. I don't know why you guys won't do the research and figure out that's not true. And everybody should have access to affordable healthcare. We had that under the Obama administration. Whether you like Obama or hate him, we had healthcare that was more affordable. And currently, that's being stripped away. So you do with that what you want when it comes to Medicaid and Medicare. I have a father currently going through some medical issues. My daughters went through medical issues. I've had medical issues. We all will. So let's fix this medical thing in America. Just as other countries have figured it out, I believe we should be able to figure it out without our government shutting down. But let me know what you think. God bless you all if you work for the federal government or if you're impacted directly right away. And we'll see what happens over time.
If the government keeps giving to other countries and keeps helping other countries, the government will never be able to give to the American citizens and they will never be able to help us. Now, if our government had millions, billions, and trillions to spend, we would not be trillions of dollars in debt. We would not have the spending problem that we do. What is so ironic is after our government spends all of this money sending it to all these other places, helping all these other people, they will look at the American people and say, we have to shut the government down because we can't fund it. The current government shutdown everybody is talking about in DC has everything to do with healthcare. Republicans don't want to add any additional policies, any additional spending to the funding bill. Democrats are insisting that any short-term funding bill includes protection of healthcare programs. I do think it is important for Americans to have affordable accessibility to healthcare. I just really wish American politicians spent less time trying to figure out how to fund universal healthcare and more time trying to figure out how to make Americans universally healthy. Yes, it would be nice to not have to pay any medical bills, but what is more beneficial to all Americans is knowing that we are living in a society where our government is taking our health seriously. They're not allowing corporations to pump chemicals into the air, into the water. They're not allowing food companies to put chemicals into our food that are going to cause us to have health issues down the line.
This is the part where I know your thoughts in the comments, and tell me where you stand on this. Tell me how long you think this is gonna go, and tell me who you think is going to break. And tell me the effects that you think this will have on the economy, guys, because the ripple effect just goes on and on and on. And those that will suffer is the populace. Anyways, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I really want to hear from you. And if you have found value in this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you in my next video. Please stay safe. Ciao.